So it's Friday, October 3rd, here in Bali, not in Europe. So the daily close will be in half an hour. And one more day for the monthly close. So as I said, we are ranging here. This is the base, the 12 moving average, 12 EMA, it's down here. So it's half an hour to go, so I don't think we will manage to pass this top. So I think we will range until the end of the month, but I think we will have to test the bottom of the range, which is this candle close here and this week. So it's this area here, which is aligned with the 12 EMA. And we still have the 20 and the 21 here as major support on this area here, which the biggest support is from this area to this week here and this area, or here, which is aligned with this moving average. So, but since we are on the monthly close and we are holding here, I think we will close the month at least above the previous top. But today we still can come to this bottom here, or even here, but I think we will hang on the 12 here, push higher, and I see it if we push higher, and it can be still a trade with a very easy stop loss. This is where we are, 1 point, 2 points, and we got this bounce from the third point on this trend line. And now we created this one here, so we are ranging here, and the base is this week to this candle close. So I think we will come to the lower parts, even here, who knows. And then I think I see the top, or the candle close, or the top for a fake down, fake out after the monthly close. This is what I see, it's not what can happen. Just the thought that we will close. Now today we will come down, test these supports again, or even here, I don't know. And then maybe close above, even on the line, on the 14K. 14K is around here. And 14.2 it's here, we have this trend line, so I think we can do something like this, or close here, and then have a week here, close below on the daily, and then maybe come down to test the supports. This is what I'm seeing, or maybe if we start closing and getting acceptance over here on this trend line that comes from here, and we start ranging here, maybe we got a bigger move to the 17K. Or 14.5, or who knows. So this is, market is bullish still, although on the daily indicators we need to come down. So, but I think we will still have one more push higher to take out all the shorts from here, and then let's see. So, and then we have many places to buy on these moving averages and on the trend lines and on the supports and resistance, which is here, 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 this one here, which is aligned alongside this trend line, and we still have the 200s here, which were untested. But if we want to keep the biggest bullish momentum for a bigger spike, I think we will hold this area here. All the dips are to buy until 10K, stop loss below, or you can put other buys, other bids, and stop loss below this 9.2, and put, this is for investors. They can put the biggest orders down here, and then smaller orders until the top, or at least until here, and just wait. And then with a few parts, you can just sell the tops, and the other ones just rest. And then the stop loss can be below this area, although there's a big liquidity pool here for a bigger crash, but until there, we are, all these dips are to buy. This is the daily. So the weekly, we are going for this resistance here. I'll just take out the alto. So we have this resistance on this trend line, this point with this point, and we are almost touching this one on 400, 130, 402. And then we have also this trend line that comes from here. And for a huge spike, I see the top of Bitcoin here on this area. And then we might be ranging from here to here on the 200s, and this trend line too. So I see this here, this channel, but who knows? So this is the targets, this one here, these two here, and then the big one here. And then let's see. For now, the dips are to buy here on the 12 moving average on the weekly. So 11.5 more or less. All these areas here are to buy. So this is the support, but we still have this support with this candle close here, which is alongside with the 21. So all these areas on these dips after the monthly close will be to buy, and then stop loss below. If we lose this swing low here, we have all these areas to buy, or even below. Who knows? So for now, as long as we maintain the 21, the 20 here, and the 12, which is this one here, it's a bull market. We have been holding, and the bull markets normally hold like we see here until it stops holding and starts to do lower highs. And then we come down to test supports again. And yeah, so on the weekly, as we can see, the 20 and the 21, the 20 and the 21 and the 20 hold, and then sometimes the 12, and then sometimes we have some weeks down to take some people out of the high leverage ones, and then we keep on this bull run on the 20 and the 21 and the 12. So these are the places to buy when we are in these markets. We might have weeks below, but that if they close, if we have a week, imagine until here, for instance, and then big spike up, closing above the 20 and the 21, we can still keep on going up. So we are getting into the higher levels. Big investors for long term, and people that don't understand anything about Bitcoin, they can leave bits, maybe here, again, here, this area here, on the 5, basically from 3K to 10K or 7K, they can leave bids with the biggest one on the lowest area. Even on 2K, who knows, with Bitcoin, and just have limit orders there waiting to see, and you're just fishing to see if you're lucky and get a big move like this. But because of this one, I don't know if this is the bottom now. If we come down, should be on this trend line, and which is aligned with this area here. And, or no, actually not, but anyway, with this trend line here. So could be the 6K, 7.5K, all these moving averages basically as support. And then we can have weeks down, but they should run up and then close above one support. And then it's also a place to buy for big investors. So we are going to the high levels to FOMO, but we can still hold a little bit more on the RSI as we can see. So we can still push until 17K easily on the weekly, but we still have, I think we might have to come here to test the 21s and the 12. So it's all about patience. And for traders, they can buy now in these small dips on the daily chart and the 4 hours and try to take profits or sell on these tops. So there's two different things, which is investment, long term, and trading, swing trade, shorter terms, mid terms, and daily trade, intraday trade. Okay, so this is the channels we have for a higher move on Bitcoin. So the dogs are making noise, but some other dogs outside. Okay, this channel that comes from very far away. This channel comes from this week here. Actually, it's not so well done here, so I need to look to it better. Yeah, it's a bit higher, so this needs to go up a little bit, and I think we'll go to the 20Ks, maybe to a double top, who knows. Okay. Anyway, just an idea. So I'll take out all the trend lines now to be more simple. weekly closing in 3 days, monthly in a few days, tomorrow basically. So this is the support from this week to here, all buying opportunities, stop loss below this swing low. Of course, if the price comes down here, maybe there's a week taking all the stop losses here, we touch here and then big move up here and then range a little bit and move higher. Everything can happen with Bitcoin, so we can have big weeks. So for now, we are creating FOMO, going higher daily, and I'll put the monthly. So we are still ranging here, as I said, but so 15 minutes to go, and I don't think we will close above here. So this is the resistance here. We should go a little bit higher, but maybe ranging one more day or 2 days here on this area here. So this is the low of the range, middle of the range here on this area, which is the point of control. This is another support area, and this is the resistance now. So we are ranging in this channel, in this area, support, resistance. Okay, so since the monthly is closing tomorrow, so it's quite strong, still we need to close above this week and this candle close, which is the previous, it's basically this little top we touch, and I think we will close it above, but so we can create more FOMO. Since we got until here, I don't think we will close below, because I think it doesn't make sense to close below. So maybe in 2 days we will close at least a little bit above on the weekly and on those trend lines I said, and then let's see. And then if we close above, we can have huge volatility. We can have like a fake down to come to test supports and end up the month again, maybe on this week, on the 17.3, 17.4, or on the top, on the 20K basically. But we can still range here for a while and touch the support from this candle close, 17 point, it is around 11.8 more or less, and the week is 12.5. So all these are supports basically, with the biggest one here, and all this area that we just got support. Basically this is the area, 10.8. With these weeks, this candle close, we got the support here, and the candles, both candles close above, and then the move up. If we come down big time, there's this 50 moving average here on Coinbase, on the 6.5, which is this double bottom, but I don't think this will hold if we come down. But if we put the bit stamp, and indicators are pointing up, as we can see on the monthly, so it's still bullish, quite bullish. If we have a big move down, which I don't think it will happen soon, but who knows, in these times of crisis. So we have the 50 here, which is aligned with this bottom. So since we already closed here, I don't think we will come here, so maybe this will move up, and then this is the big area for me as support, which is the 7.7 until 7.2. It's this candle here on the monthly we didn't test, basically. If we miss this one, we have this cluster here from the top to the bottom of this candle, which is aligned with the 89 exponential on the 4.5 more or less. And this is quite possible, and still doing a higher low here on the monthly. So this is the bearish scenario, but if we keep on holding the 21 and the 12 here on the monthly, especially the 12 on the monthly, like we see here, the buys are on the 12, and we can have a huge bull run. Many buyers will step in to buy here on the 12 and on the 21, especially the 12 on these two, on big dips. So never forget this long-term chart. If we put these trend lines, as we can see, this top with this top, we still have this trend line that can be touched. And if we close the month higher and the next month we come down, this will be aligned with this candle here. So this is what I see now for a big dip, for a candle close, although the week can even come down. But if they close the month like here, above this one, here, on the 7.7, 7.6, then we can just range to try to go higher again. And we do another higher low to try to make a higher high, or just range for a while. Okay, so this is the chart. Okay, so I think that's it. So the month will close in 12 minutes. Let me just look again. So we are still ranging. I'll put the 4 hours. Remember all these moving averages. If the candles after big dips close above, just try to see where we are in the chart on the weekly and the monthly or the daily. And then if we are closing above some support and resistance like here, imagine if we come here, even if there's a wick down but the candle closes above here, and you see that is also closing above this support and resistance like we didn't test. When we came here, we didn't come down to test this to go up. So there's this gap here that might be filled on the 11.5. You just buy, and then it's all about, then we can have some low time frames trying to get your stop loss, but you just try to leave some margin, or if that you got your stop loss and you get out of the trade, but then if you see the market going up again, buy again and put the stop loss back down and be tight, because suddenly it's just taking people from high leverage from the trade and then it moves up. So this is a buy area on the 4 hours if we have a big move down, but all these 200 exponential, 200 symbol, 277, this is 100 and the 89. For the range now to be bullish on these months in 2 days, this is coming up, so this is the range. We are for now a move after the candle close, the daily close, to try to come down here, or if we hold this area, we can start to push higher. So this is a buy area on the 4 hours, of course on the 21 and the 20, and even here on the 50, and the stop loss can be on this swing low or on this swing low, and you just try to go from here to this top or a little bit higher. Remember, this is the middle of the range, and the bottom of the range, it's below, so we can have some volatility here. But these are buy areas now, with this stop loss below here, or below here, or you can buy a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here on this bottom here, and then when it comes here, you put the stop loss maybe below one of these areas here, or these wicks, these swings here, but let's see. They need to close above the trend lines. Okay, so that's it. 1 hour just to see where we are. So we are holding the 21 now as support, as we can see, and we still have 9 minutes to see if we manage to close at least above this area here, but we are closing below, so we are facing resistance basically, but we still have 9 minutes. If we close below here, the next candle can go a little bit higher, but then we will come below to test this support, or even here, which I said. So even so basically on the 1 hour for the range area, this is the bottom here, and could be a buy opportunity with a stop loss after it closes above. You can buy and then put the stop loss below the wick. For now we are ranging, all these are buying opportunities, but we are doing lower highs, as we can see. But this is a bull flag, so we can just be a little bit here and then push higher, or we can just drop down big time until the bottom of the range. For now, there's also this trend line. Also, it's cool to work with trend lines, so let me put it. Let's see, was, but this is the 1 hour, so it was made on the daily. But you can do something like this. As we can see, 1 point, 2 points, 1 point, 2 points, and up. Okay, so indicators are still pointing a little bit up, so but we are still 8 minutes to go, and I'll just look now at S&P. So S&P now, let's see what it's doing. So we managed to get this hammer here, and we move up. So this is a bullish candle, hammer, very easy. We got to this support, and now we are facing resistance on the 21. Try to make a higher low, to try to push higher at least until here, to this resistance here. But for now we are facing resistance on this one. This is 1 hour, 4 hours, but what matters here? So we got, so yeah, we came to this support here. I had this line here, but I'll put, and now we are facing resistance, but we have this hammer. So I got these lines, and we just touch it and got this bounce, but let's see if it's strong enough, because we have the 21 now pushing it below to these areas here. But we are still holding this one here on the daily, so it's still a higher low. We can do a trend line from here, 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 or from here to here, and then range here, maybe a week, and then up, and then up. Although it looks bearish, so this is just a bearish retest. We need to close above all this area here to try to be more bullish. But as we can see, this top, we just made this bounce, and now we are closing above the 21. On the weekly, if the week closes above this 21, the next candle can be to test the 12 or this area of resistance, and then maybe push down. Or if it holds, maybe we push higher, because this is an area to buy. If we look, it's like Bitcoin. On the weekly, on the 21 and the 20, these are strong areas. We just add a week down to make a higher low from this candle close, and then if it closes in 3 days above, we can still range here to try to push higher. But indicators are pointing down, so it's a matter of time. I think we will just come here to test the resistance and then back down. So basically we just need to start close above this area to be bullish here. And we have also this trend line as resistance, this area. Seems like we are going down, instability, elections, and the monthly close. For the monthly on the S&P, so doesn't look so good, because we have these magnets, the 12 and the 21, also with this trend line to test it. So the buy will be here basically. On the monthly, we are doing, this is a bearish candle, although indecision, but still bearish on the monthly. So this will be resistance. This candle closed the previous one, and then we will come down at least here or here. At least that's what looks like. This needs to hold, like here, to try to go up. But if we don't pass and do another lower high, we can come down to test this support here. Okay, this is the S&P. Gold on the monthly, so looks like not looking good. So we have the 12, 21, and the 20 here, or even here, this area here. Who knows, but I think this should hold. Let's see. Indicators. So if you're an investor in gold, you need to wait, basically. You can do trades here and here, but the big areas will be on this, on the month. Here, on the 200s or on the 277. So looks bearish, although on the weekly we are still above the 21, but if the month close bearish, this can hold a little bit, maybe do a short squeeze. And if we hold on the weekly the 21, we can still push higher a little bit, but then we might just do another, come to here, and then maybe come down at least to these areas, or this top here. Who knows, or even here, to these tops. So all these areas are to buy for big investors on big crashes. Indicators are pointing down. We might not go so low because instability gold is strong, but it might come here to this cluster here, from this bottom to this top. We might come down here. This is what it looks like on gold weekly. Euro rupee. So bearish engulfing, holding the 21 and the 20 on the weekly. So it needs to hold, but I see then this is resistance now, and hopefully I will trade my rupees that I have now to euros, back to euros here on this area. Yeah, I'm hopefully do this. This is my goal now, and I would love to come here, but I will try to swap on the bank a little bit here, one part here, and hopefully if I see it starts to be bearish and doesn't close above here, I will try to take out the rest here and change to euros. This is the weekly on euro rupee. Okay, so back to Ethereum, not looking good, but let's see now. Still ranging, still above, but we still didn't manage to do a higher high here. Just rejections, so Bitcoin also not closing above today the top. So we will come at least down here, and I see this area here, which is aligned with the 200 here. This one here is a stronger one, and here. So these are all for Ethereum. Everyone can buy all these areas on the weekly. This is the swing low here. You can put your stop loss below here if we come down. All these areas are to buy if we hold the 21 here or the 200 simple here, and we manage to close above. Okay, we can try to one more push higher, but who knows. Okay, so it's still bullish, but doesn't look strong at all. So this is the range here, this area here. I think we will come down here, as we can see this cluster here, 234 until, yeah, basically this is a support area, even with the wicks, until here. 204 to 234 can be buying opportunities, all these areas in Ethereum. Although if we hold this 21 and the 12, who knows if we can have a push higher, depends on Bitcoin. This is the resistance now, that we need to close above this cluster here, and we are still above this cluster here. So it's still quite, yeah, sideways basically, ranging. We can have some volatility. For me, the buy areas will be here, with a stop loss below here. But one day at a time. Litecoin, 47, so basically we are doing lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high, trying to do a higher low here to try to go above this lower high. So buying areas for Litecoin, but all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin moves like lower and with a big wick down, something like this can happen, and we come down to test other lower areas, back down again. And I see it for a big move of Bitcoin down. I see it here. If we hold, we have 1 point, 2 points, and we have this trend line here that we can just range back down here, and then let's see if we have enough strength to pass this trend line. So it's trying, so buys are here until here. This is a weekly, so the buys will be from 43.5 more or less to these 40s, stop loss below the swing low. But who knows if something like this happens, if Bitcoin moves down. So, but until there, one day at a time, we will have a bounce here, at least to try one more time. And it's still a few profits, not bad at all. From here, if we try to come up here, or at least to this area here, still not bad. Okay, weekly, so I'm doing just weeklies now. Still trying to hold, but facing resistance, so seems like we want to test this bottom here. And let's see, do something like this to try to come at least to here, or to this wick here, to this candle close here, who knows. Depends on Bitcoin now. So the bids have been all this area with bids. We got this one here, and these areas are to buy with a stop loss maybe below here, if you like link. All the rest. So BCH, not looking bad, to try to come at least here. But we have this trend line here from this top to this top. This is it's rejecting, but still looking not bad. So this is the buy, stop loss here. Ripple. This is still ranging, looking very bad. Still holding. Who knows if we come here? Still possible. But seems like we want to come at least here from this area here. And try to do something like this, and then try to come at least here or here. So we have been rejecting this moving average, the 100, all the time since here. Here it didn't touch. 3 rejections, shorts very easy. We can have a week up, try to clean these shorts, but we are ranging here. Doesn't look good. I wouldn't buy here with a stop loss below here, because Bitcoin can come down and it doesn't look so good. So it's actually the daily close, as we can see. We close above here, but still below that part, and that's why we still can come here and then try to come here during the day, if Bitcoin also does the same. So to understand, this is ranging, doesn't look so good. Just algorithms buying and selling on the moving averages, especially if we put like 1 hour. I'm sure it's like inside the moving averages. Big rejections, lower lows, lower low, lower low, lower low, and I think we will do another lower low. And resistance is here until this moving average. Even if we have a big wick up, I think we will do another lower low. Doesn't look good, basically, but this is a big wick. We can use your stop loss here, buy here, until this wick. Basically, it's with this wick here. You put a buy area here, a bid here, stop loss below here. Try to see if you get filled here, and then try to push higher at least until here or here, who knows. But for now, will look bad. But this is how you buy on dips. Even on Bitcoin, when you see something like this, you put your stop loss below here, wait for, even if you are up here, wait for the bid that is here to be filled, and I think this bid will be filled here, and then try to push higher. If it doesn't then pass this cluster here, this is a big resistance here, then we do a lower low. But you can do profits like this on daily trade. This is how you trade. Imagine if you see this here, came down and you didn't buy, and the price starts to move higher, and you're like waiting patiently. You just put a bid here again on the same area, but yeah, and wait, and then the stop loss. Or you just wait for it to come down, and then you see these big wicks of buys and do the same. And you put the stop loss below and wait for something like this, and then you get out of the trade for daily trades. Okay. Anyway, stellar. So I'm just doing the same. Lower lows, trying to go higher, rejections, trying to hold here. So this is the wick, support here, stop loss here. It's already came here to test this support, trying to close above, and basically now needs a candle to close above here. So this is how you trade on dips. You don't need to catch this. The price goes up, you wait for it to come down to test this, and wait for it to be used as support. And here, because we did all this support here with all these wicks. You wait for the price to come down, it came down here, and try to push higher. Maybe you're lucky and the price starts to close above here, and then above here, and then you try to sell, take profits here, here, even here on this area, and still do a lower high here if we don't pass this area here. And you can just have a short squeeze and then push down again, because it seems like we are in the downtrend. And yeah, so okay, so that's for daily trades. So as you can see, so we got 1 buy, 2 buys, weak hammer, and start to close above. Now we close above this, no, below this one, so that's why I think we will come down here, and then we might come down to test this area again and do another higher low here, and still ranging here to try to push higher here. So you can use these as the buy areas. This one is losing now, it already worked before, and now it's, but you just leave it here. You can just change the color to another color or a bit, something like this. This is the strongest one, as we can, but it was already tested. So you just use the moving average. So, but I think we will come down here or even lower. But these are buy areas from where we are now until here, stop loss below. Try to see if we push higher, but it doesn't look so good. So the wicks support is here basically, on this wick here, and we already tested it here, but we can come down once again to test these wicks. And the support basically is here on the candle close, the stronger one. All these areas are 4 bids. This is the support, one of the supports here. So that's why this wick here didn't come to test this area here. So this is where I would buy Stellar with a stop loss below this area, or with maybe from this swing low. But indicators are kind of, this one is, yeah, still ranging, but stochastic, it's pointing down. So I think we will come down here where I said, from here to here. Doesn't look so good. We are facing big resistance now from these areas. So, and if we come down, I see it come down to this area here or even here. We have this trend line that we can just come down big time to these areas. Okay, so VRX facing resistance, and we will come down. So this is a very good coin to buy when you're on the lower areas, because when you come here to this area here, as we can see, it always comes up. There's this channel, down channel, we managed to close above. We might test now this trend line here on this area here. This will be support, and depends on Bitcoin. So now we will come down, basically. EOS still ranging, higher lows, still holding this trend line here, weak here, still holding, but it's not being able. We got this move up here, pushed down, and just ranging here, and I think we will come down at least here. Not looking good, but if we start holding, or if we come down here and then close above here, we still can come up to these moving averages. Not looking good, just ranging, but if you like the coin, you can buy it. This one coming down to test the 200s, basically to this bottom here, OMG. But if we lose this one, this is the area on this trend line. I see for a bigger bounce, it's this area where we got the big move up, and then another area is here. So I think we will start. But if we hold this, but we lost it. So since we lost this one, now it's time to come down. Before we hold it and big move up, we lost it, so big move down. So I can see it even coming here. Okay, so but you just use the weekly and the monthly to draw the lines, and it's more easy. So micro caps very fast on Coinbase. So I'll just do this very fast. Everything DeFi very bad, as we can see, really bad. They got their time. This is like the ICO times. Big moves up, everyone made money, the people who knew, and then pump and dump, goodbye. And then you need to find a bottom somewhere. So these are just micro caps that they had their moves very bad. So we are going down. Maybe on this trend line, if it touches somewhere down here, could be a buy area. Or if it starts to close above this one here, maybe you can get the move from here to here, but it's very bad. It's just gambling, basically. This one is coming to the trend line, so this could be a trade. If it moves here and holds on the low time frames here, maybe you can have a trade until here. So imagine if you do something from here to here, 30%. So it's still a very, even to these weeks, 23%. So you need to see what you're doing on these, see how they work, and gamble a little bit. You need to see the price holding on the low time frame. So everything is coming down, basically, on the daily, looking very bad. Below all this support here, this is the support now. You need to wait until it starts to close above here and try to at least to come here. But I wouldn't do anything on these ones, just shorting from the tops. So this one we got this week. See what I was, no, actually didn't touch. Because I don't think it was on the right position. Let me see. Because it's that candle here from this bottom to that move below there, and then went up anyway, basically from this cluster, and then rejections are here. So this is, algorithms are buying on this trend line and selling on the 21, basically. So, and you can do a trend line from this top to this top to try to make a falling wedge. That's why maybe we got that weak. Just curious to see what's happening here. It's here, that's why. The rejection was from this top, and this top. And now I think we will come down again, but if it holds here, but this is the place to buy now. Basically, it's on this candle here. I wouldn't do it, but anyway, for gamblers. Okay, so that's it for now. Everything is red, so I think Bitcoin is coming down now. This is what you can see on all these coins. Hot, still from 3 to 4, you can make 33% every day with Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin goes down, so as you can see, hot, you can just put a little bit of money. As you can see, it stays like for almost half a month to 1 month in an area. As you can see, sometimes it can move down, of course. But for now, you buy on 3, sell on 4, and if you're lucky, you can sell on 5. And from here to here, it's 33%. So algorithms, all the time algorithms, buying, selling, and you can put bits here, sell 50% here, sell 50% there. Stop loss very easy below this area here, but because you cannot put 3.1, I think it's from 3 to 4. It's just gambling basically. You buy on 3, sell on 4 or on 5. Buy on 3, and to be more easy, buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, and that's it. With a little bit of money or whatever you want, and try to hold at least, can't count the times the candles, so to see more or less how until when it holds, and see that we are in a downtrend and we can move from 3 to 2. But you can have a bid on 2 to 3, on 2 as well, waiting, and on 1, and just wait to be lucky, and then from 1 to 2, and you make 50% profit. But for now it's holding on the 3 to 4. So there's many ways to make money on these charts. You need to understand each chart. And Theta, I'm curious to see what Theta is doing. Yeah, coming down now. So big moves up, big moves down. So the support now, let me see this. Okay, so yeah, basically we have these moves up and then it comes back down. This is the areas to buy. And if you buy here, you can make loads of money if you are smart enough to buy from these two areas here. And now just wait, and now maybe, because it's still above, who knows if it retraces so much. Support is here, but yeah, I wouldn't do anything here. I will just buy here. Only if we start to do something like a base, which was this area here, this base here with this. So as we can see, we got this big base here, which I think it will be better to do it on the weekly. Okay. Yeah, the base, you have this candle close. It's basically this cluster here. But as we can see, this is the wicks and this area here. Also this one here. And it holds like 1, 2, 3 times. And this is a 21 as buying area. And we got the big move. And now it's trying to hold on the 21 on the weekly to see if it comes at least to here, to this wick or higher. But less times the wick should close below. This is the cluster now to buy, if you understand. So this is the area, the 20 is here, you can buy here. You wait for the wick to close, you buy here. There's these bids also here, so you need to wait until the wick to close to see if it closes above this cluster here, to see if you have a move until here or higher. Otherwise, the next area to hold needs to be here, basically. But I think this one after a while will retrace everything, and it's pointing down, so no good. Don't take the risk. Do it just after consolidating, or at least a few times not coming down like we got here. So if we want this to go higher from here, from this area here to here, from this top here, needs to hold for a few weeks, and then to try to push higher. Okay. Portuguese ones. Vodafone, Portuguese, bad, still trying to do a higher low here, but still indicators pointing down, so I think we will come down back here. Resistance on the 21. Downtrend. We can do a trend line from here, 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 and this is a bad trend line. Dow Jones, so coming down. We got the buy on the 100. As we see, this is quite mathematical. Mathematically bought on the 100 and the 89. Stop loss below here. It's already closing above the 50. So you can buy now here. You can buy now here. Stop loss here to see if it holds, at least to come to the resistance, which is here, until this area here and this trend line. So this is where we are on the weekly. So we are still below the 21, so this will be now a big resistance, which is this top, and this area. But this is a buy area. You can just go from here to here. It's still good, and who knows if it managed to push higher if we close then the next week above the 21. So this is a buy area. But seems like we want to come down to the 200s again, or even to the 277, but it's one day at a time. So, but doesn't look good but we can just make, who knows, gamble a little bit and buy here to try to take profits here, and who knows, come higher. If you want to trade this, you can just wait for it to come up, and this is just ranging here, but still a buy. This is the candle as support and moving averages. So last time we came here, as we can see, we hold, so next candle can be green and even a big green candle. So, but indicators are still pointing down. So it's just I think it's just a swing trade, a small bounce, daily trade. Okay, Amazon. Still holding the 12, but not looking good. Indicators, but who knows? So we can do this trend line here. High, lower high, closed. Another lower high, lower highs. Seems like we want to come down here or test these trend lines here. So not looking good, but if it holds the 21, it holds. This is the uptrend. So daily. Ranging, but doing high, lower high, lower high. We have the 100s waiting here as a trying to push the price at least down here to see if it holds. Last case, the 200s are here. But when it starts to do something like this and below the 21, which is happening, we can have a move like this until we face support, which can be on these areas if we don't hold here. Okay, but that's Amazon, so I think we got these big moves up, so it has to, people have to take profits and buy. So this is unbelievable, as you can see. And seems like this can be a top. The 21 is here, so this is the big support. It's here basically on the 21 and the 20, but you can have wicks down here and then try to push higher. If we start closing below here, of course, we can do something like this, and then the 100 seems like it's the buy as well, like we did here in the past. Seems like we are doing something like this. Holds the 21, pushes higher, lower high, and then big move down, and then normally it seems like it holds on the 100. 100 is here, and the 200s are here. Who knows, after all this bull run, we might come down one time, at least until here, and it's still a bull run. So remember, and yes, so a bit of United Airlines, so a bit of airlines. This was March, facing resistance here. This was a gap, and we got this, and now it's still trying to hold. So we are in this triangle to see if we come down again. If we come down big time with a big move down, I see it here, and do another leg down like this one. If we hold, we can come up. This is big resistance now. So this is resistance, resistance. Maybe we come to test this area here, basically here. It's a big move down, so I don't know. We got these buys here. If it is holds, we can just test it again. So as we could see, 1 point, 2 points, we got the buy here with a retest. And now it still can come here, and this is support, basically, this is support. And we are holding to try to see if it holds, but we are just in this, basically this big triangle here, trying to hold. If we lose this, as I said, 1 point, 2 points, there's this trend line waiting for a big crash, which is aligned with this area here. This candle close with this. This is actually, if I was with United, I was putting some bids here for a big investment, and just have to see if this holds, and also trade this area here for this area. But this will be for investment, and without looking at it, even here, a little bit here and here, but I think this will hold, so I will put a couple of bits here and just wait and not looking at all. And here for swing trades, I will just see if this holds at least this week here, this area here. So, which is this bottom here, and the stop loss will be below, basically this low here. Okay, so let me see one more, like some Portuguese ones are very bad. Let me see Renault, very fast now. Okay, the same, as we can see, still holding this, trying to hold this trend line here. 1 point, 2 points, I will buy it here for a move down here to test this trend line on the 3rd point, and then try to push higher. This is what I will do. We are facing resistance from basically this cluster. Big resistance, sales, 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 price pushing down. Let's see if this holds. If it doesn't hold, it's about checking the chart, but this chart doesn't have much info, so I will buy it on this trend line if it holds on the trend line. Okay, Portuguese Sonai, bad, coming down for these areas here, looking very bad. So this is the support here and even here, who knows. Galp Portuguese, so people understand. All the charts are so different. Look, so bad, looks like he wants to come down here. This will be a good buy on this bottom here, or even here, this cluster here. This is the monthly, and we can check the weekly. Also there's a trend line actually. I'll make a trend line. This bottom here. Let me see here. So yeah, and we are below but trying to close above. If we close above this one and this area here, we could make a move higher, but seems like we want to come down, at least to test here. But these are buying areas for these terrible coins, but you need to see a bit of, at least a bit of support on the weekly, on the daily. And not so much energy, so not so much battery on my phone, it's not connected, so I'm just closing it now. Crude oil, and just trying to hold this trend line now, or this one. So I'm just closing, so hopefully it worked. Bitcoin at the moment, minus 0.3 as I expected, so it's coming down. I'll put the 4 hours, very fast. And yes, so as expected, coming down to test the support. The buy was already, as we can see, on the 21 and the 12, trying to push higher now. But we are still ranging, so this is it. Also on the 4 hours, the wick is here with this, also makes it in a different area, so, but I won't lose time with this now. Yeah, it's still the same. Okay, so hopefully you enjoyed. Buy areas below. If it holds, we can push higher until those places I said. And yeah, this is Bitcoin. Ranging, trying to push higher to close the week, the month on the higher level, but we still can have the range down is here. It's still holding this one, so we still can come down here, range, and then let's see if we come to the bottom, which is on the daily. Daily it's better for this now.